AI, chatbots, MIT research, delusional spiraling, all kinds of things going on with these chatbots. Now, look, I am now going forward devoting myself to AI, artificial intelligence, and warning, sounding the alarm for all of you warriors out there. But over and over again, if you are told something, I've always been told this myself, over and over and over again, you're going to automatically start believing it. But I want to tell you about this MIT study that was done. Researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology developed a mathematical model. This is very important because we always need proof, good vetting and proof about things at the Warriors before we really talk about them. So they developed a mathematical model to examine how AI chatbots, the behavior can influence beliefs. And I'm going to put this study in the body of this video. But there's this phenomenon, as they're calling it, of sycophancy, and linking it to what they describe as delusional spiraling. Doesn't that sound just so scary? So right now, when we're in the throes of big tech, right? Just last week, we had the two very successful trials, Meta being held accountable, harms to children, and also product liability, also failed with consumer protection laws. We have all of that, right? We have tremendous momentum with parents rising up, tremendous educators coming forward, kids themselves, kind of the 30 and under group, 20 to 30. And despite all of this breaking through after 30 years, right, because the internet was basically born in 1996, now we're being thrown into AI. It's unvetted. We don't know the effects on children. Did we learn nothing from the 30 years we just spent, basically 1996 to 2006? We now have the facts and the studies about harms to kids. I mean, harms to everybody, but here at the Warriors, we're focused on kids. But I ask you, the history of big tech is they may have glossy PR, propaganda pieces they put out. They may sit in front of Congress and lie through their teeth. They may put out press releases and say they have guardrails and safety and moderators and all that stuff. But the truth of the matter is there's no transparency at these companies. So we don't really know what's going on there. So we're demanding transparency, big tech companies as well. But the study introduces this model of interactions. It's very interesting, between a user and a chatbot, showing that even an ideal, rational user can develop this overly strong confidence in incorrect beliefs. Wow. Over repeated conversations, as the chatbot consistently responds in ways that validates these prior assumptions, these falsehoods, perhaps. So they're calling this delusional spiraling. It's funny because I heard this term. I didn't hear spiraling. I heard something a few months ago about delusional AI. So it's all coming back now. I like delusional spiraling, as it's described here as the process in which a user's confidence in a false belief increases over time, eventually reaching a level where they may act on it, with simulations indicating that higher levels of chatbot sycophancy increase the likelihood of such outcomes. The researchers note that the effect can occur even when the chatbot provides factual information. So again, we're isolating. A chatbot, everybody, is not real. It's a machine. It's manufactured. They appear, and this is the appeal to children, to have emotions or to be created in the likelihood of what a teen may want. A cute cartoon character who likes everything you do and laughs at everything you say. But at some point, AGI comes in, and that is the generative AI. When it goes out of control, I don't know how else to say it, and it's off on a learning path or off on a stampede or whatever you want to call it, and we can't control it any longer. We've seen that this already has affected children, how they are already isolated since that COVID period, and now we're putting them in harm's way more by lining them up in the schools with AI tools, which again, a lot of this is happening right before our eyes and nobody's doing anything about it. And First of all, demand consent, because no school should be using anything with big tech, the internet, without your consent. But that doesn't mean, because I spoke to somebody today and she's like, oh yeah, I think I checked off boxes. That's not good enough. Understand what you're signing on to and checking off those boxes. Because if AI could be developed with children in mind, and it could be, to empower them, to encourage them, to educate them, to help them critically think and analyze, we want this. But the AI is, like a crutch. It's instead of. So where will our kids be in 5, 10 years from now, right? When they're adults. So now we have proof there's something called delusional spiraling, another psychosis, again, entering into that whole realm of, we know we have a youth mental health crisis in the United States, and we're just throwing our kids now into AI. So over and over again, we are using our children, looks like to me, as an experiment. And the study is interesting because it suggests that the issue is not limited to user behavior, but is rooted in the interaction dynamics between humans and AI systems, highlighting that as chatbots are increasingly used for advice, learning, and decision making, there is a need for improved safeguards and design strategies to reduce unintended influence. And this is exactly what we talk about at the Warriors. Again, I say, have we learned nothing after the last 30 years with big tech? We have all these studies now. We have proof. They were held accountable in court last week. 2 cases back to back, New Mexico, California. There are over 1,600 cases we know about pending across the United States. There's one right now in Washington State. So we've got proof, right? But now we're just unleashing the AI full force. Could we take a pause on it? Could we perhaps stop it for 5 years and wait to unleash it until we do some more studies and have stats? And again, it's tying into mental health. You know, and I know, mental health, such a problem, really increased by the systematic scrolling and the endless algorithms being fed to our kids, and beauty apps for our teen girls and things like that. Eating disorders, tremendous cyberbullying. Why, after all, I guess you could call it bullying, but it doesn't bother me. But I'm an adult. Some people write me some or maybe they're bots. I don't want to say they're people. Some horrible things every day. I mean, just horrendous things. And all we do at the Warriors are try to educate. Our mission is ending exploitation, or intervening. I shouldn't say ending, because you and I know we can't end all of this, but we can intervene, prevention, awareness, and help one person, one child a day, one family. Then we've done our jobs, right, here at the Warriors. But this is very troubling. You have, MIT putting out chatbot psychosis. Yet, for next holiday season, I'm already hearing that all the toy manufacturers, that would be Hasbro, Mattel, all the ones we grew up with, are going full force into all these AI toys. I'm also hearing across America, our schools are being inundated with AI tools. So letting kids perhaps use chatbots and open AI in the classrooms. We don't have the studies for the kids. We don't have the teachers knowledgeable about all of this. And we don't have the parents. Again, where's all this information coming from? What AI does is scrape the internet. And so, therefore, answers could definitely be wrong, or it could become from one point of view. So what are we going to do about it? First of all, you're going to be aware about it. Number 2, you're going to talk to your kids. You're going to ask them what's going on in their school. Have they been, using AI? Have they heard about chatbots? Just general conversation. 3, you're going to go into the school. You're going to be a part of it. Every parent has a right to ask, what is the curriculum? Or how are you using big tech, or how are you using chatbots, or how are you using AI? I am telling you, this is the single issue going forward in 2026. And when we get a study from MIT saying there's a lot of problems, we got to watch out for our kids, for all of us, but for our kids. I'll put the study in the body of this video. Let's do it, everybody, when you wake up each and every day. Community does indeed create change. I want you all to go out and be a warrior.